In front of a simple house, under a bright blue sky, several female farmers were busy working in the traditional way that they had inherited from generation to generation. That morning, the atmosphere was so lively, filled with laughter and light chatter that flowed so beautifully. With simple tools they threw away and separated the rice that was full and empty. There was a warm feeling in the air, not only because of the sunlight that touched their skin, but also from their togetherness. Their agile hands began to work, carefully separating the rice from the dirt and empty, useless seeds. One by one, the fallen or rolled rice was carefully selected. They knew exactly which ones to throw away and which ones were worth keeping. There was a movement that was so skilled, even though this method looked simple, but it actually gave its own peace. There was no rush, because every movement was done with full attention and gratitude, like appreciating every grain of rice they had. Helping each other, laughing with each other, sharing stories about what happened in their days. Their voices flowed happily, mixed with the cool breeze and the gurgling water from the gutter not far away. They told stories about their grown-up children, about their increasingly fertile gardens, or about memories of their youth that always invited laughter. Sometimes, someone would mention funny little things, and in an instant the atmosphere became so alive with their laughter. Helping each other, laughing with each other, sharing stories about what happened in their days. Their voices flowed happily, mixed with the sound of friction that they played in a woven bamboo container. They told stories about their grown-up children, about the increasingly fertile garden, or about memories of their youth that always invited laughter. Sometimes, someone mentioned funny little things, and in an instant the atmosphere became so lively with their laughter. One by one, the empty rice grains were separated from the full ones, piles of empty seeds collected on one side, while piles of good rice grew thicker on the other side. There was no sense of laziness, instead they competed with each other to finish quickly, but not because they were in a hurry. They knew that the more they worked together, the lighter it felt. There was a happiness that could not be explained with words alone. It came from every step, every laugh, and every touch of the hand that touched the rice. The sun was already getting higher, but they didn't feel hot. In fact, every time they saw the increasing results of their work, their enthusiasm grew even more intense. There was no sense of tiredness, only a deep sense of satisfaction. When one of them showed the rice that had been carefully separated, the others proudly watched, laughed, and praised. It all felt like a small victory that they had achieved together. There was a sense of pride that flowed through them, not just because of the bountiful harvest, but also because they were able to share this beautiful moment together. They knew that, although the rice they were cleaning would soon become life-giving food, the true value of this work lay in the togetherness. Moments like this, which can only be found when they work with their hearts, became memories that could not be replaced by anything. In between work, they enjoyed a cup of sweet tea provided by one of them. Its simple sweetness was so delicious, warming their tired bodies. There was so much to share in this silence, not just stories, but also the passion, sweat, and smiles that filled the space between them. They took turns sweeping the fallen grains of rice, sometimes making light jokes to relieve fatigue. When one of them was a little careless and more rice fell, the others happily helped, adding laughter to the togetherness. Everything was so natural, there was no sense of coercion. Even when the sun was getting high and the weather felt hotter, they continued to work with enthusiasm. When finally, one by one the cleaned rice was neatly collected, they looked at each other with wide smiles. There is no word more beautiful than seeing the results of hard work together that has been realized. They did not feel rushed to finish everything, because they knew, every second they spent together was a precious moment. There is no excessive desire in them, just enjoying their lives with the results of their sweat. Far from the glitter of worldly life, but they are very grateful because this gift is more than they expected, because they live from the results of the earth that is still very natural. And certainly, harmony, laughter, a very high sense of sociality still adheres to everyday life in this village. After their work is done like any other day, they will be together again working in another place with similar work, and when the day is getting late then they will return home each with a light heart and a smile that never fades. Fatigue just disappears, replaced by a deep sense of gratitude. Because working together not only produces abundant rice, but also forges a strong bond, a bond that will continue to be remembered, even though the day has passed.